Welcome to this week's Affiliate Marketing Podcast with me, Leanne Johnston. This week, we're taking a short break to our usual schedule so that I can share this insightful podcast that I had with these two affiliate OGs, KJ Rocker and Vasily Gamov, when we all met up in London last month. Now, it's a bit of a long one, but rest assured, we spoke about a lot of interesting stuff, and it was too good not to share. So if you've ever wondered what old-timer affiliate marketing veterans talk about when they talk shop, this is the episode that you'll want to tune into. We covered everything from the highlights of this year, what we're focusing on, through to what will happen next, and why keeping your mindset strong is key for working in this ever-changing industry. Now, without further ado, here's what we discussed. Hope you enjoy it as much as we did.
Hi guys, we are here in London at ICE, and we have a podcast with industry leaders to discuss some new about the industry trends, artificial intelligence, regulations, licenses, and more. We have gorgeous Leanne from Offverse. We have outstanding KJ from Affiliate World Conference from 05 Media Ltd and a lot of projects. So let's start with a little intro about us. My name is Vasily Gamov. I'm CMO at WeChat and Tech Holding. We provide traffic all over the world, about 5 billion impressions daily, and especially 40% of our traffic goes for iGaming vertical. So Leanne, could you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Hey everybody, my name is Leanne Johnston and I'm the founder of Afterverse. We're a media agency and training business helping affiliate managers to launch, scale and grow successful affiliate programs.
Hey everyone, my name is KJ and I'm head of strategy at Affiliate World Conference. We host conference, Affiliate World, one of the top well-known conferences in the world. And apart from that, I run my own company called 05 Media, basically lead generation.
Awesome, like very experienced guys we have tonight or during the day.
It's morning.
Let's gonna make it tonight. I know. So, first part, I would like to discuss the most exciting theme, what happened to the industry during the previous year is artificial intelligence. For me personally, it improved a lot of processes, like by 30 or even 50% in part of copywriting, in part of researches, in part of design. What about you? How do you feel this trend? Do you use artificial intelligence with some processes? And what is the most awesome case you have with it?
Okay, so I haven't really engaged a lot of AI yet, other than ChatGPT and some of the basic tools that are out there. We've certainly used it to help with publisher discovery. We've used it to help with content writing. It's probably saved, I would say, about 25% of resource time for us in terms of research and coming up with like taglines and a lot of our social media like content that we produce. We use AI to actually get ideas and thoughts. But one of the coolest pieces of tech that I've actually seen recently, which I am trying to explore with, is a tool called HeyGen. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. Okay. So basically you can create an AI of yourself. And I mean, imagine what the world would be like if there was an AI Leanne answering questions about affiliate marketing. So, I mean, I've been playing with it. I think it's a really cool tool. I think it's going to sort of seep into events as well. I think a lot of people are going to bring AI,
we already used it on the conference.
Did you?
In Athens.
Oh, wow.
We made an intro with this.
Yeah, like a chairperson or whatever. So, I mean, I don't think AI is at the point where it can replace humans. Certainly not, but it can help to augment day-to-day tasks that you're doing. And I think we should all be exploring it because it's a new wave of technology. And in this industry, when you are tech forward, you're more successful. So that's how we're using it.
Exactly. Totally agree with you. What about your experience with it?
I mean, there are different ways you can use AI, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, it covers everything. So one of the things which I usually use within, for example, for my campaigns or stuff is research. That like usually when we were doing all the psychographics and all the demographic research and stuff like that, it used to take us a week, and now it hardly takes a day to complete everything. So I think it's super exciting tool, and it kind of reduced a lot of time, like the resources as well, like we used to spend on things. So that's number one thing. The second thing is, of course, when you want to come up with new angles and stuff, that's super helpful. It's another kind of like you can use it as an advisor. And of course, like everybody else uses it, if you sometimes you want to create different taglines and stuff, and you can't come up with different ideas, where it helps you to come up with the stuff where you feel like you're stuck. So yeah, that is super helpful. And apart from that, another thing is like creatives. I mean, if you talk about Midjourney and stuff, it's amazing the way AI is changing everything. Like usually, sometimes when you're trying to come up with advertising creatives and stuff like that, it's hard, to come up with some unique ideas and everything. Like personally, one of the best creatives I created for our campaign was through AI, where we were running ads for, like, let's say, life insurance. And usually when you come up with ideas, this is just normal casual creatives, but AI came with a creative where it just showed a swing, empty swing, and it was like giving that angle that, just imagine when you're not around, who's going to take care of your kids and stuff. So if you give AI or even ChatGPT enough background, it can come up with some amazing ideas. So of course I'm loving it.
But the one thing I would say, and that's a very good example that you brought up, is that AI cannot be used in silo. Because the context is not there. So especially in things like life insurance, or even in gaming, or any other kind of heavily regulated finance, heavily regulated industries, there's no way that I can see right now that somebody should be using AI without actually having human intervention in there as well. Because the one thing that I'm getting a lot of, and I don't know about you guys, is it going to replace my job? And I think it can't at this point. It really can't in the state that it's in. I know that's a big question, but
no. Look. The way I see it, I'm sorry. But the way I see it is, it's just an extra tool to help you craft more things. But of course, like right now, when, for example, even you're talking about compliance. Now, when we're looking at how in regulated verticals, how big all these compliance documents are and everything, and to keep in mind each and everything is really hard. So another use we do is we kind of give it all the compliance guidelines, and then feed all the, let's say, ads and everything to the AI and let it kind of audit it. That really helps us as well to come up with stuff. But of course, there is always human intervention.
Well, that's the other thing, is that we're thinking about AI to create, but what about AI to do operational processes? Because I think that's I don't know about the two of you, but that's like the bane of my life, operational processes. And keeping abreast of of compliance is also it's a full-time job, right? Stuff's changing around the world all the time. And I think trying to find ways to get AI to help you with those things, just kind of scan the internet whenever there's a new article that's written about FCC rules or whatever the case may be, and bring that content in. I think that's the way we should be using AI. So I think that's a great point.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we should think less about, it's going to take jobs away from us, and more about, let's say, how it can help us to improve our work.
It's almost like we need to learn new skills, because
it's like you said about manufacturers, factories, previous revolutions, industry. It's the same.
That's a big word there, that we're going through an internet revolution, which I do believe we are.
Yeah.
And I've been around for 20 years, decades, and I've seen 3 evolutions of the internet, from the very first click to when we got search engines to when we had social media. And now this is just the 4th iteration, I think. It's where tech has become so advanced that we can use it in very different ways. And I think as digital marketers, we need to upskill ourselves, because the art of prompting AI is going to become a skill. I mean, I've been fiddling around with it, and I'm no good at it. I'm just going to put it out there. But, I think that's going to become something that you need to heavily invest in and actually skills develop yourself.
Yes, exactly. Good prompt, a lot of data. and that'll be fine. But for sure, as you mentioned, for compliance, I would like to share about the marketing also. When I need like an expert article based on internal data or something, I cannot do it in a good way at all. So you still need to have copywriters and so on. What you have here is just improving your processes, speeding up your processes. As you mentioned, 1 day instead of 1 week, kind of same for my processes. But what we see, we can use AI for researches, for marketing. It's a good approach. But I know that AI is also used for different themes in product. For example, in Mr. Green, if I'm right, they use something like behavioral patterns. They analyze the player activity. They provide bonuses based on it, or something like pop-ups about responsible gaming if gamers became too addicted to it. So this is quite an interesting example how we can use AI else. Have you noticed anything like that in products? Maybe some interesting examples?
I don't have any examples, but I know that it's being worked on because there are some people that I've been talking to that are bringing AI into algorithmic type modeling, basically player modeling. And I actually think that that's an extension of the hyper-personalization, which is what every user wants. So I don't think that that's a negative thing. I think it's actually a positive thing because as marketers, we want to become more efficient in the way that we spend money and more efficient in the way that we engage with our consumers. So whether you're a casino player or whether you're an e-commerce shopper online looking for something, I think that AI should be augmenting that user journey as best as possible, as it would when you are walking around the street. And I think that offline to online mix is going to become a lot more cleverer with AI doing those kinds of like big data piece modeling as well. So I think we're on the cusp of something pretty cool. If there are some companies out there, please do reach out and get in touch with us because we'd love to hear what you're doing. But yeah, I don't know about you. What do you think?
Yeah, I think like I'll give you an example. Like for past 10 years, we've been running insurance. And one thing we noticed was like whenever there's football, whenever there's a holiday and stuff, all the traffic goes down, demand goes down. And I fed all of that data to like AI. And one thing we noticed was like Thursdays and Sundays, they are the worst. So, it can come up with some really good data analysis as well.
Yeah.
Which, it kind of like gives us where to spend money, kind of indicators when we should be spending money, where to spend it and all that. So, yeah, I think that's another really good use case for AI to understand the behaviors. Why does that happen and all that? And it literally like it all depends what it's all about what questions are you going to ask to AI and what kind of like angles you can take out of it. AI can help you massively in that. Like usually if I was to kind of like work with that data analysis expert, that would have cost me, plenty of money. But of course, when you have AI, just ChatGPT or the API, you can just do it.
Yes, definitely.
Really.
But I was quite surprised at how simple it was to build like a ChatGPT model because I wanted a tool that could take all of my podcasts and transcribe them and then edit them afterwards. And I built, I'm not a tech wizard at all, okay? And I could build it, and it took me 20 minutes to figure out how to build it. And now I have a transcribing tool, and it was free. So, it does kind of make you think just how far, if you're really clever enough, how far you could stretch AI.
Yes, and with this part about video editing, about subtitles, I remember the time about 15 years ago with my first video blogs and so on. Yeah. It took me some kind about a week to type these subtitles to make a transcription. Now I put one button, I do some corrections during 20 minutes and it's ready. It's done.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, but I think one thing we should always remember is to make sure you do make corrections as well. Because I see, I always say this, like, use AI, but be smart about it. Don't let other people know that you're using it.
Well, that's actually the thing is I can spot AI generated content now because I've been using it so often. I sort of see the pattern that happens, and I can tell whether it's through ChatGPT or whether it's through Claude. So I think you need to. I mean, you do need need to still be authentic. And that's a big point, actually, that I think we should talk about, guys, is AI can help you be creative. It can help you be efficient, but it can't help you be authentic. You still need to speak to your audience with the authentic voice that makes you, you know? So.
Exactly. I mean, it really depends, like what you're thinking. You have to give that to AI, and it will, like, let's say when it comes to content, it will put it into better words. Like, we have so many people who maybe English is not their first language. That's fine.
Yeah.
As long as they know what they're doing, AI can massively help them out. But don't get caught. That's just my
Don't get caught.
Okay, I'm sure we can go on with this artificial intelligence part for sure. Let's jump into another part about very exciting thing: regulations and licenses. Yes, not to be boring, just let's try to keep it short. During the last year, we saw a lot of markets enter the and they became regulated markets. Yeah. I mean, Brazil, I mean, some states in the US.
Yeah.
I mean, this monopoly in Finland, we had a discussion at Sigma in November. Even they are going to recreate the licensing and regulation systems and allow new brands to enter the market. So it looks like a big trend nowadays. What do you think are the most promising markets at this stage in part of regulations, licenses, and for legal gaming business there?
So there's a bit of a split in this question. So I'm going to answer both sides. So a lot of people are doubling down into Latin America because the infrastructure is good. There's, quite a robust economy and there's volumes of scale. And other people that you speak to are doubling down into Africa because there's volumes of scale and the infrastructure is really good on mobile. Like pretty much everybody in Africa has got a mobile and runs business off their mobile or does, transactions through their mobile. So payments are really robust there. Mobile infrastructure is really robust there. I still think that the Eastern European regions are quite interesting from a cultural perspective as well. And they haven't really been targeted, in a large scale, even though they're a smaller populace. Asia, whole other story. I mean, that is just off the wall. I went to Vietnam last year for the first time and I absolutely loved it. Like, it's just like a whole other universe. So I think there's very little on the planet that hasn't been targeted, I think. But I think the main regions for me would be Africa and Latin America.
Maybe any specific countries in these regions?
I mean, Brazil, obviously, huge. I think Chile is quite interesting. We've actually got people based out in Chile, and it's quite an interesting market. In Africa, it would be Kenya, it would be Nigeria, it would be, I think actually Southern Africa, because there's a lot of expats down there. Yeah. And Sigma's actually taking place there in March. So if anybody's going to Cape Town, my hometown, and you want to get some tips of where to go, hit me up and I'll tell you where to go where the tourists don't. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be in Cape Town because I'm going to Dubai, so I couldn't do both. But I think Africa is more interesting to me because English is widely spoken in the country, so it's easy to enter. And I think there's a lot of talent in Africa coming out of universities, younger graduates coming out that really want to get into the digital space. So I'd like to see a lot of investment in grassroots training and development to actually help students get into the digital marketing industry, because it's an easy way for them to start earning money and to make a living, make a really good living. So we're kind of looking at African partnerships as well. So that would be my golden crystal ball moment.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. What about you? Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, well, the people I speak to, intelligent people like you, always tell me that there are, Asia, that's a massive market. For example, if you look at India, that's a, massive population. Yeah. And that's always excited and really engaging as well. For example, if you're, I don't know if any of you are doing any iGaming, but just associate it with cricket and you'll see the results.
Yes. Sure. Huge, off the walls.
Yeah. So I think that's one of the countries. Then there is Bangladesh, that's massive. Apart from that, Saudi, that's a weird one.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, so Middle East, that's another one. And of course, Africa. I think Latin America, the thing is everyone's going there. So
it's moving out of emerging now. I would tend to agree with you. It's moving out of emerging now, and it's actually becoming a more stable because the regulation is coming into play there now. And that's because the volume of money is there. So, after that comes compliance and everything else, which is great because I do believe that we need rules and regulations and people need to be acting responsibly. And typically you'll find that the brands that are acting responsibly are the ones that last the longest because there's a lot of fly-by-night stuff. And I do want to say to affiliate or to publishers that might be listening to this podcast as well, but do your due diligence. Don't just get into bed with anybody that offers you, a high CPA. Look at where that brand is and look at what they're investing in terms of their entire marketing channel, not just the affiliate channel. And pick your partners wisely.
That's so true. I mean, usually people think compliance and all regulations, they're bad. They're not. Actually, they help you to improve and build long-term businesses. For example, like insurance. A couple of years ago, it was free for all. At that time, it was so competitive. But now, if we talk about UK, it's super regulated. And that actually helped us to kind of have an edge over everybody else. UK is now really closed market, only open to those who are properly regulated and follow all the compliance regulations and everything. That means higher payouts for us, more longevity, long-term businesses, businesses which we can actually exit as affiliates. So there are, really good benefits to it.
That's exactly the point. If you are affiliating, why are you affiliating? Because are you building a business that you want to exit from one day, or are you just trying to make a quick buck?
Yeah,
because there's the long play and the short play.
Exactly. In this part, we go to markets which are, I would say, white, black, or gray markets. Because what we discussed several regions, point out several countries. But in these regions are black markets. I mean, in part of regulations, you need to have a license. You can do it only by license. I know for sure. For example, let's talk about Finland. Yeah. Only one casino brand is allowed. But if you go to some website most popular in the industry, you will see that in Finland, 2,000 casinos with Finnish language. So kind of black or gray story, I would say.
Yeah.
So if we talk about affiliates, what risks affiliate can take on him or on her, whoever, and what markets can he enter? Black, gray, or white, and why? What is your advice here?
I think it depends on whether you're in the short-term game or the long-term game. Because if you're in the long-term game, you're going to want to build a business that you can exit from, that can pass the due diligence of investors and possibly raise capital if you want to get bigger. So I think thinking about where you want to focus and not spreading yourself too thin either, trying to go into 1 million markets isn't going to grow your business faster. It's actually going to make it more harder for you because of all of the different regulatory requirements. So I know a lot of affiliates that have focused, they've doubled down on the US and they've got themselves licensed, they've got themselves built, and they're making some seriously good money in the states that they've decided they want to focus on. I know some affiliates that are only in gray markets and they're struggling to actually raise capital to grow their businesses because nobody wants to touch it because it's not compliant.
Yeah.
So it really does depend on what your business model is, what your exit strategy is. And, I started my business 4 years ago, and nobody tells you when you've got a great idea and you start your business to think about what your exit strategy is, because you're just at the beginning of your journey.
Yes.
And actually, that's the first thing that you need to think about is how long do you want to run this business for? Who do you want to partner with? What services are you going to provide? And how do you want to exit? And I think those are the same 4 questions that any affiliate needs to ask themselves.
I think I agree with you on this, because at the end of the day, it's either you want to make short-term money or you're going for long-term. The issue with short-term is you will make a really good amount of money, but then you will be, again, starting from scratch. I have seen this. I mean, we all have been in the industry for a while, and I'm sure you'll agree with this. Like most of the times when you look at affiliates, they make tons of money and then they have nothing else. They have to start from scratch if they're going for short-term strategy, and they have to start over and over and over again. And with that, yes, your commissions are coming in, but once your hack or whatever, your method or whatever it is, it goes away. You have to kind of build from scratch. So that's something, I mean, I learned during my early years. That's not something I want to go for personally, and I don't advise because it's not worth it. You better make $100 per month on regular basis instead of making 100K per month for a couple of months and nothing for
and you got to find the next hack.
Yeah. It's just a rat race.
That's a good point. And I think if you're like a young one, 20 years old or something, there is much more desire to do stuff like that. I mean, enter the black market, make an easy money. Maybe it kind of connected to the age, because when I was 20 years old, about 10 or something years ago, I will not to tell you in details, but and when I look at this part of my life, I see that why did I that?
Yeah.
What for? Because yes, you need to think long term. Most of us probably would like to live a long life.
No, I would.
So you need to invest in your life.
Yeah.
With smaller steps, but regular basis. That is the approach.
Biggest tip I can give anybody that's on the publisher side is get yourself a mentor. Get yourself a mentor who's come before you. It was one of the things that I did last year for myself, is that I've got a mentor. I've got somebody that I could talk to about running my business, about growing my business, and where to focus, because you're so in the weeds when you're running campaigns and doing things that you actually forget to think about working on your business. You're just working in it all the time.
Yeah.
And you need to have that space to look back and go, okay, where do we go next? How do we strategize? Where do we grow? What decisions do we make in terms of which markets we enter into, and how do we look at the data to make that decision work for us? Because just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean it's a good idea for you to be doing it.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I speak to publishers, they're like, oh, everybody's going into Africa, I'm going to go into Africa. And my question to you is always why? What's your why? Why are you doing this? And if you can answer that why, then you've got a good business plan. If you can't answer the why and you're just doing it because you've got FOMO and everybody else is, let's face it, we all do it, okay? It might not be the best decision.
Yeah, that's that shiny object thingy. Yeah, I think with time, our industry has grown as well. Like if you think about like 10 years ago, it used to be those Lambo guys, or even during crypto time.
They are still there. They're still there.
But I see now publishers and affiliates much more mature, more focused on long term as compared to just short term.
Good one. Yeah.
Yes, I see, a lot. And I feel like our industry was pretty young at that time. And now by age, people are getting more and more wiser.
I'm sorry, but this is like a pet peeve, and you're welcome to cut this bit out if you want. I have been in this industry for 2 decades plus, okay? If it was easy to make money in this industry, I would have been a multimillionaire, not on this podcast. So can I just anti-climax that whole Lambo guys story, because that percentage of people in the industry is like 0.000000001%. So if you're listening to this podcast, it takes a lot of work to become a successful affiliate. It takes a lot of drive. It's hours and hours of labor. It's constant research. It's networking, like a demon in order to meet new people and get new deals. It's sales. There's so many skills that you need to be a successful publisher, which is why I'm not a publisher. I'm on the other side because I'm not that clever. So really just don't look at those guys and think, oh, I'm going to go make 100 million if I become an affiliate, because that is not the life that 99.999% of you are going to live.
You threw my Lambo dreams in, right?
No, but there's so much, it's pet peeve of mine. There's so much, and I'm going to be explicit, but crap content out there about affiliate marketing. And it is what led me to start Affiverse, to actually tell the real deal, tell the real story about how affiliate marketing works and how it takes, what strategies you need to put in place in order to grow programs and to work with partners efficiently. Because 60% of the affiliate managers that I train don't actually know what an affiliate does. So how can they possibly support them?
Yes, good one. So
sorry, my rant's over now.
The industry definitely needs more education, and all of us do it. So we need to do bigger.
Yeah, that's so spot on. There's so much goes on behind the scenes, which hardly anyone talks about.
Yeah.
Like talk about how many of marketers go through depression, mental health issues.
Totally agree with you.
I mean, this job is not easy. You're salesperson, you're accountant, you're a creative manager and all that. Even if you have teams, you have to train each and every one of them.
And you're on all the time because the internet never sleeps.
Exactly.
And so mental health is a big issue in our industry. And I see a lot of affiliate managers getting burnt out because they're not supported properly by companies that they work with, because those companies don't understand the role. Being an affiliate manager is one of the most complex jobs that you can have, because you have to be an expert in every single traffic source. And you need to be able to work with every single type of publisher and understand what they're going through if you're a really good affiliate manager. And it can take a toll. It really can take a toll. And we don't talk about it in this industry enough.
Yeah, and it's same on affiliate side as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? Like my wife is in mental health field, and she attends conferences with me and all that. And it's funny, she asks, all the networks, what you do for your staff or for your affiliates, their mental health and all that. And they're like, what are you talking about?
There's nothing. There is nothing.
But there are still some examples. For example, we have these social programs. We invest in mental health. We hire a psychologist, so everyone in our team can go to a psychologist, take some care of himself, herself.
But the thing is,
it's not widespread.
Yeah, it's not widespread, and no one's talking about it. Even if the companies are doing it, they're doing it internally. They don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I think there is a need.
There's definitely a need for coaching.
Okay, another podcast is going to be about mental health, I think.
I think that's a good topic.
Okay, so it's kind of hard to be an affiliate manager. It's kind of hard to be an affiliate. It requires a lot of education, a lot of skills, knowledge about a lot of different traffic sources. And here we go to traffic sources. What is your top? Because in iGaming, there are a lot of them, like the most powerful SEO or PPC traffic. Next goes to Google USC, Facebook or something, then go push pops, native ads, and so on and so on. So what are the most favorite for you and most potential for the upcoming year?
Okay, so I'm a huge believer in the power of micro and nano influencers. Shoot me down if you disagree. But if you want to get in front of the right audience, the riches are in the niches, okay? And I still believe that there's opportunities to exploit that, especially in gaming. Maybe not so much in other channels. But what else? Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. So I think nano influencers, micro influencers. I think streaming is okay. I mean, it's more like brand awareness, I think, for that. Where I've seen some really great opportunities is in tech. So affiliates that are actually building really cool pieces of tech that either upsell or retain, or anything that's gathering first-party data is amazing, which you should be doubling down in right now. And I actually do a lot of business with retargeting publishers that do media buying and actually sell on a performance basis. So that's kind of my sweet spots at the moment.
Thank you for sharing. What about you?
For me, I'm not into iGaming, by the way. But yeah,
just in general.
Generally, Google is my favorite.
100%.
Media buying, that's amazing, super good. Facebook, not so much. I mean, there's tons of issues, especially after the new recent updates and all that. Apart from that, one thing though I learned and I admire most from iGaming affiliates is the way they grow organic traffic.
Tenacity.
That's amazing. Yeah. Look at the Telegram groups and the traffic they're driving from Telegram and stuff like that. TikTok, that's a massive one as well. So overall, in organic, I think my favorite most would be TikTok and Telegram traffic. The way they nurture leads, the way they nurture all the users, that's amazing, and that's something we can take inspiration.
I'm going to throw a curveball to you now, because you know Facebook better than what I do. If you look at TikTok and you look at Facebook, what are the best parts of each at this point right now? Because you said that they've made a lot of changes.
So the thing with Facebook is it's a massive organization and it's messed up. The tracking is now messed up. Targeting is messed up. It's you can't really now target the way it used to be. Like previously, Facebook turned into one of the biggest traffic sources was because of their targeting options. But now because of all the regulations, they got sued so much and they messed up so much that you can't really target people. Like a few years ago, even a kid could run a successful campaign on Facebook, and that's why most of the marketers or gurus, with
Lambos,
Lambo guys. Exactly. I mean, Lambo guys, because Facebook was easy, they made millions.
Yeah.
And now because you need real media buying skills and all that, it's hard for them to crack anything. I see a lot of thing in D2C e-com brands.
Yeah.
Sorry for hitting on you, but yeah.
So what is the easiest traffic source to start with for a newbie, for example? Because all of us have experience. We talked about which one we prefer. But if some newbies watch us, what is the easiest way to start?
Push notifications, straightforward. Not many skills required. All you need to do is you need to have right creatives, and then just build your blacklist and whitelist and test.
Yes, there are also some targeting options. Some you can start with some budgets like 100, 200, 500 to have some result. That's it. What else besides push? Facebook became quite complicated, you told. Maybe anything else like influence. Is it easy to do influencer job? What do you think? To do stuff like that.
It's not easy to do.
No.
Which is much more easier.
Yeah. Okay. The thing is, when you, especially where you have to show your face, because sitting in front of camera and talking to yourself.
I hate it. My team has my face on everything, and I hate it. It's a pet peeve of mine. It's like, get my face off things, because it's not about me. It's about all of us. It's about all of us in this industry, educating everybody else. And to me, you really do have to have a certain kind of mindset to be an influencer. You need to really love yourself in a big way to get out there and be authentic and to actually be on screen every single day. And it's not in my DNA.
I mean, personally, for me, I don't like to hear my voice. So I give everything to my editor and tell them to transcribe it and give it to me what I said and everything. And that's how I give them instructions. I don't like to hear myself.
That's kind of okay, because I think all of us have something like that. Yeah. I have all the same issues. Trust me, I have all the same issues. That's normal.
Yeah.
That's normal. You just gonna need to fight your fears.
But
make new step and go.
I think you have to be yourself. Don't try to be
100%.
someone you're not. That's the best advice I could give. And the second thing is be open. Even not in influencer marketing or even in affiliate marketing or anything you're doing. If you're running through any issues, just reach out to people, the people you know, or even if you know someone who's good at something, just ask them. That's what I do. I'm extremely introvert person. I don't like to talk to strangers or anything. But I
don't. You came up and spoke to me, and I was a stranger at the point.
I mean, that's the thing. When you challenge yourself, when you see value, you just reach out and try to it's not on conferences or events or anything. I'm totally different. That's what my wife says as well. Usually you're a totally different person, but you have to be open. You have to be open about your problems. You have to be open about your challenges. Struggles, help you need, and that's how people are going to help you. That's how you're going to find the genuine people who are willing to help, or the people you can help as well.
You know what? The other thing that's really cool about this industry is that, and for the audience watching us, we only met each other 2 weeks ago, and here we are having this awesome podcast. And if you don't ask, you don't get. You have to have that mentality in affiliate marketing. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Yes. Proactivity is crucial.
100%.
Okay. Here we go to the most interesting, I would say, part. Why not? Trends of this year of 2024. What trends do you see on the market? But let's divide it in two parts. First, I would like to discuss trends in which you are exactly with your company, with your projects. And in the second part, we're going to discuss trends which are on the market and why did you skip it for this year.
Okay.
Probably there are some because you're unable to catch every trend and do everything. Yeah, so it's very interesting. Why do you prioritize this one to this one? So personally, for our holding, for example, we launched an affiliate network. We're going to launch some SEO projects during this year. So we are growing. We have a traffic source. We have websites. We have affiliate network. Soon, I hope we will have more products. So it's growing, and not about the monopoly, but kind of big one, yeah. So it is the main trend. The next trend is about iGaming, because it's already, as I mentioned, 40% of our business, and we keep on growing with it. So it's, I would say, two main trends for us, and which we are following. What about you? What trends for your company?
So for me, we don't really follow trends, but we are focused doubling down on products. So for me, training is a very, very important part of my business. And it's also an important part of me, because I believe that training is a big need. There's a big need to train affiliate managers in this industry. And that's why I started this business. So we're doubling down on tech to actually enable that, to actually scale it. And we're doubling down on content, because that's what I'm good at. So I'm just focusing on what I'm good at this year. I do believe that there's a huge opportunity in this micro and nano influencer segment, which affiliate managers don't really understand yet. They're sort of trying to figure out how to bring ambassadors and influencers into their affiliate programs, but they haven't clicked it yet, like to make it really work. A lot of the tech stacks are actually investing in products. So Impact.com has a product which helps to manage influencers. There's hundreds of other products out there. I'm not affiliated to anybody. And I think the trend that I'm going to kind of veer away from, because you asked about that as well, is the shiny thing syndrome, which has been a problem for me. You know, like I'm a big visionary, and I'm like, oh, we could do this, and we could do this, and we could do this. And,
yes.
But if you do all of these things and you don't double down and focus on one,
requires a lot of resources.
so in our team we have something called scope creep, and every time I open up my mouth and tell the team, oh, we're going to go do this, I just get scope creep. So that's the thing now. I'm not allowed to scope creep this year. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just focus on the things that we're good at.
Nice approach. What about you?
Okay, so for affiliate world, we are trying to focus more towards increasing the attendee experience, enhancing that. We recently launched affiliate awards as well. So that's something we are trying to work on. We are trying to work on, again, as you said, with the networks or with the clients, to help them understand affiliate mentality more, to focus more towards that, to connect them better. That's why we recently rebranded STM Forum, which is one of the oldest forum, rebranded it into Affiliate World Forum now, where all the companies and affiliates can connect with each other and try to understand what each other is about. Now, if we talk about personally, for my own project and my business, I'm looking at number one, growing my team further, and the second thing is organic. Move away from paid advertising and focus more towards organic growth. That's something.
Because of the price, because of the long term.
Of course, you have to, yes, media buying works. You're still profitable. But still, unless you don't have organic growth, media buying can stop anything.
For me, in comparison, organic is much more cheaper. It's like 3 times cheaper in comparison to Google.
Yeah,
there are a lower amount of leads because it's quite new one, but still.
Okay, so I can comment on that, because my entire business has been built on organic only. I have never spent one single dime on paid media since I launched this business. So everything has grown to where it is right now through organic content. It is slightly cheaper because you have a longer term burn, but the quality is so much better. Like we bring in clients that want to be with us for the next 18 months to 2 years, whereas some agencies will spend money and they'll bring a client in that'll be with them for 6 months, and they'll offset the cost of the paid media to bring in that lead. We've never done that, and maybe I'm weird, but I just never had the money to spend on paid media up front. So we did everything organically, and I would agree with you. It's longer term.
organic is the long term, and the thing is, media buying cost is rising every day.
Yeah.
And especially the way where economy is going, it's not going to be easy. A lot of us are, going to see some really tough days. So yeah,
it looks like organic is a keynote this year because we are talking too much maybe about organic traffic, but we talk about it, and I see a lot of new companies, a lot of new medias on the market, in the gaming market, in any industry, and even I'm going to attend tests in the end of February. I check the agenda. SEO, Black Hat SEO, how to run websites, how to launch SEO. The year ago, one subject, one topic, one speaker was about SEO. This year, like 5 or even more speeches.
Because everybody's worried about cookie deprecation.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, and actually, I built like my blog site and everything. That's super organic as well. And I agree with you. The results you've seen, it's always, super high quality. And if you look at like in our mailing list, I can see we have like subscribers since 2010.
Oh, I'm like the Hotel California. When you subscribe to Afterverse, you never leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Afterverse.
No, but it's because we're authentic, because we only put out content that our audience needs and wants. And the reason why we've grown that way is because of organic. We've attracted people that only need and want what we have to deliver. So you can spend a lot of media money and get a whole big list of newsletter subscribers, but they're going to flip out and then you've lost your ROAS, as they're saying, because it's not going to be longevity.
Exactly. But if you could, like, in my case, what I have always done is I followed the subscribers. I always follow what kind of stuff they're interested in and stuff like that. Like I would never hesitate to bring in even my competitor to give them insights.
So do I.
Yeah. So
it's exactly so right.
It's all about providing value, less about And when you launch all these media buying campaigns, the focus is just converting a customer at that moment. After that, you don't care. And I've seen this, like most of the times people don't care. But if with organic, the thing is you have to keep nurturing, keep providing.
But let's also just be clear. Media has a very definitive place.
Of course.
And it needs to be brought into the strategy at a very definitive time. So like we've grown organically for the first 4 years, but now we are going to start spending some serious money on media because we want to scale.
Yeah.
So you need to be thinking strategically about your business as well. You can't just say, I'm only going to grow organically.
That's what we discussed, long-term strategy.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, another thing is when you start with organic, you kind of understand your audience well.
Yeah.
That really helps you to kind of grow, or when it's time for start buying media, that really helps you out. But here's another question, like what you guys think about role of AI is back again, in organic traffic. Like, now ChatGPT can write articles and articles and articles.
It's bullshit. but that's it, because when ChatGPT just appeared, like February last year, something, I saw tons of projects. Oh, everything on AI, nice. 1 month, 2 months, okay, Google changed algorithms, they go to the bin, these projects. And what I see, content which is produced by specialists, by copywriters, based on internal data, on experience, it's much more qualified. It has much more quality in comparison to AI. If you write an article only based on AI, without checking, without rewriting, what for?
The context and the authenticity.
It will not appear in the query, in the search.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
the same experience for you guys. That's it.
Yeah,
it doesn't work like that.
I mean, if you just want to throw content without any oversight, yes, it's useless rubbish.
Well, people are going to tune out to that, because I think I read an article once, and I'm going to be a bit explicit, a tsunami of shit content that keeps coming into the internet. And consumers are just going to blank it out. It's like when we had television for the first time, people used to actually watch the ads. Now everybody skips past the ad.
Yes.
But if they can't, they just won't watch the show because they don't want to see it and they don't want to hear it. Yeah. So you can try and do the tsunami approach, but I don't think it's going to work long term.
No,
So again, you're asking yourself, are you doing a short-term strategy or a long-term strategy?
The general idea of this podcast, I would say. Okay, looks like we covered a lot of subjects. I suggest to stop here for now. So thank you for visiting this podcast. It was amazing. Thank you for sharing your experience. Press like button if you would like to see more content like that. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let us know if you would like to see a podcast about mental health. We figured out it's quite important subject and nobody covers it. Probably there are a lot of content to discuss and help our audience. Why not? So subscribe, click the like button, share with your friends, and see you on the next podcast.
Thank you
guys. Bye.
Want to amplify your affiliate program performance? The Amplify Summit is the only affiliate marketing event you need to attend to stay ahead of affiliate trends in 2024. You'll get no sales pitches, just honest advice and answers from industry experts to the questions that you have about affiliate program marketing. Get ready to save the date in your diary as we bring you the biggest and best Amplify Summit yet. Taking place on the 19th and 20th of March 2024, we'll be giving you the inside scoop on how to amplify your affiliate program and partner performance. Plus, book an on-demand ticket for £49 and you'll gain exclusive access to masterclasses, personal group coaching sessions, and all-important Ask Me Anything sessions with real live industry experts who will show and tell you how to implement new tactics that drive consistent results. Get your ticket to join us at Amplify now. Visit affiversemedia.com and click the button marked Amplify Summit to register.
That's a wrap for this week's Affiliate Marketing Podcast. If you're loving what we're putting down, why not head over to Apple iTunes and give us a 5-star review? Make sure to subscribe to our podcast and our YouTube channel so you never miss another insightful episode or one of our free webinars ever again. Tune in next week for more digital affiliate marketing insights, trends, tips, and content to keep your affiliate and performance marketing fresh and your partners driving consistent sales.